You know what's funny? I was, like, trying to look up, like, because remember, like, how, like, it's really hard to find the 2003 version of the show?
Yeah.
So I was, like, trying to look up, see if I can, like, find it on DVD, and it's, like, also really hard to find.
Really?
I think I found it on Amazon. I think it was, like, $60, which I don't think is terrible.
Yeah.
But, like, the reviews are kind of, like, it's, like, this, like, bootleg.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm, like, but it had a nice cover.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Don't trust the internet?
I guess. Yeah, we gotta find a good spot to do that. I think it would be fun for us to just watch that for funsies together, or like watch some of it together for fun. I definitely would like to. Actually, no.
There's
I think
no point in watching stuff for funsies. We need it for content to make money.
Oh my god, so true.
What else? Why else would people watch stuff with their friends?
I know, right? just for the content. Hashtag content. Okay, now we're doing Advance of the Fool.
I'm concerned.
I'm a fool. I would like to advance.
In life?
Sure.
Okay.
You're an idiot.
Thank you.
So true.
Bad enough.
We're back.
And we're back. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Today, oh, you know what? I fucking forgot to realize. We did not... I'm going to cut that part because I don't want to swear the first 2 seconds of the video, but I didn't look up the comments. The comment corner comments. Wait, hold on. We're going to do that again. Sorry about that.
We're back.
And we're back. All right, excellent.
Take 2.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to try this again. We are talking about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 21, Advance of the Fool. I feel like a fool because we had to do this opening a couple times because I kept forgetting what I was doing with my life. But here we are, and we are back. Dara, any thoughts before we get into this episode?
People were acting a fool.
People were acting a fool.
Most people, except for the women. They weren't acting a fool.
The women were carrying the show on their back yet again. Hashtag feminism.
And I only made 2 ship jokes, and I didn't even, and I kind of just like went along with it because I just thought of a joke.
Nice.
And I made one about the team. I made a couple.
Yeah, but we're having a good time. It's always, I mean, it's a show full of many close interpersonal relationships, so sometimes you just gotta have a little silly.
I like that. I like that quite a bit. I'm starting to get more into the military than like I was before.
Yeah, it's very, before you were like, I think there's a line in this episode, is this episode or last episode, where Ling Yao is like, he's like, well, I don't really care about the military, and I was like, Dare at the beginning of this series.
Yeah.
And now you're like, oh, those guys, they're actually fun.
Well, I think
now that we're into like the deep conspiracy stuff, now it's kind of fun.
I think it's because like I wasn't sure if I could trust them.
Yeah.
And now we're like I can trust them, so like okay, I like.
You know who you can trust and who you can't trust.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I already said to my point of just like if I make a joke about your ship, it's probably because I forgot I said I wasn't going to.
So anyway, speaking of my favorite ship in the show, we open on that.
You gotta stay strong, and don't you ever give up on living. I need to know you can keep your cool no matter what happens.
Sir.
I'm gonna continue to rely on you to watch my back. Don't let me down.
You ought to think
I won't
about
watch
taking
that
your
back.
own advice,
Stop.
Colonel, since you were the one who abandoned
See, he's
his
alive.
post.
He made it.
Take a nap.
That's what you get for seeing your insides.
Why are we even in the same room?
Dingus.
At my rank, I should have my own room with a hot nurse.
Try to understand, sir. It's
You got a
easier
hot
to guard
nurse.
the 2 of you in the same place.
I know she's
Which
not a nurse. She's
reminds
very
me.
fast.
Yes.
Why haven't they tried to kill us yet?
Good job.
So anyway, we open this episode. We are in the hospital because if you recall last time that we saw some of our favorite military people, they were getting beat the heck up. Because I think a few different people got stabbed. Mustang got stabbed. Then he had to like sear his wounds together because it's a big dramatic baby.
But to be fair,
Yeah.
he did burn a homunculus alive.
Yes.
Multiple times.
He did very.
And it's actually like even like
Badass.
rewatching that. It's actually very like I don't know if like gory. It's not gory. Gory's not the right word, but it's very like
graphic.
yeah. That's the
Yeah,
right.
it is graphic watching Les get burned alive. Very fun.
And especially with the sound, she's just like and then he just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah. Anyway, so if we recall last time, Les died, but there were some semi-casualties. Nobody actually died. Well, the only person that died was Barry the Chopper, but like, and Lust. So rip to them. But no one on our side died. People got real close. As we see, we weren't sure last time we saw those guys what Gene Havoc was up to because he got stabbed in the back and he was not in great shape. Turns out he is in fact alive.
totally fine. Nothing that's gonna life-changing injury.
Yeah, no permanent life-altering injuries. He's great. He's just chilling in the hospital bed right there. And Roy Mustang also happens to be in the same room as him, which he kind of gets fussy about. But it's fine. It's probably better because in the military, you don't know who you can trust, so might as well, bunk up with your bestest buddies. And we open on Mustang criticizing Hawkeye because, if we recall, like, Hawkeye did not respond well to, like, the news that Lust had maybe killed Mustang, and so she kind of, like...
And, like, to be fair to Mustang, kind of fair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, she kind of like, that's,
she absolutely just gave up on life, like, in that moment. She's like, well, I don't see a reason for living, so bye. and Mustang is like, hey, you idiot, don't do that. He was like, you gotta live no matter what. Don't let me interfere. And so he kind of very much chastises her.
That was kind of the first time that, like, we ever saw Hawkeye be, like, really emotional.
Yeah, like, I have this level of vulnerability of, like, not having all together is, like, so we can see, like, where her soft spots are.
You know what? Now I'm mad at Hawkeye for doing that, because think about it. If she would have just gave up on life and died, what would have happened to Black Hayate?
I know, that's true. Black Hayate deserved better than that.
I mean, like, in the moment, yes, like, sometimes, like, your emotions get the better of you. And, like, hopefully before, like, she was like, oh, wait, I've got an adorable dog. And, like, yes, my friend.
My coworker.
My compadre.
Yeah,
might be dead.
My business associate.
But, like, puppy.
Yeah, but true, Black Hayate, that's true. God, you're so right for that.
That was the thing with Deadpool and the dog.
Oh, yeah?
In the movie.
I gotta go see that movie.
Did you find did anybody tell you the name of the dog? I thought, I think
Was it Dogpool?
No, that's not the actual name.
That's not the actual name.
Can I tell you the name?
Yeah, sure.
Mary Poppins.
Aww, that's adorable. That's
because they have good. Disney money
now. So, that's true, they do have Disney money now. But anyway, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. And so we are, we're trying to figure out really what's going on, because we know there's this deep conspiracy, and, like, everyone's kind of on their toes, because we know that now that they're in deep with this homunculus business, and they know that it goes all the way to the top, like, this is tied to the top of the military. So Mustang does have a remark. He was like, I wonder why they haven't come and killed us yet.
Good question.
What's wrong with you? How could you let that bastard go after what he did? You should have yanked his spine out of his mouth!
Lust. He killed Lust.
It's not too late to kill him, so get to it!
We can use Mustang. He's worthless if we kill him, however.
Fair?
Use him? Hold on. You mean the portal?
You don't need to worry about it. And forget Mustang.
Maybe.
Father wants me to handle him.
Papa? Because if we're in their way, there's nothing stopping these guys, especially when they're down like this, like in the hospital, from somebody just coming by and just going...
Right, especially considering that, like, they know that Lust is dead, so it's like, there's, like, no... And, like, they know that, and, like...
They took it out of homunculus. That's no small feat.
And they were probably aware that they're the ones who did it, so it's like, it's like, what's going on here?
And as we saw, like, I think in that episode, like, Bradley was around, like, King Bradley was, like, hanging about when this was happening, and made a conscious decision not to interfere. And we actually kind of see the results of that decision, where back in kind of the underground, wherever the homunculi hang out with, Envy is pissed at the Fuhrer for not intervening and for taking out Mustang.
Because I think personally, like, it would have looked bad if, like, he took out all of them, even, like, I don't know how I don't fully know how we took out Al, but I feel like there's probably a way. Yeah. But he didn't want to take out Al as well, but that's a whole...
Yeah, exactly.
But so it's like, one, he would have left Al alive because of the plan, and then Al would have been like a... What's the word?
Liability?
Yeah.
Casualty? Yeah.
Liability.
Yeah.
For that, because again, you could have told people to stop, and then also, like, if, like, two of, like, your best, like, officers just, like, got killed. Yeah. And I mean, like, unless, like, you could say, like, oh, like, this, because, like, there wouldn't be a way to explain it without, like, the homunculi thing. Yeah. So it would have been, like...
There's a point where people start asking questions.
Right. So it's kind of, like, you don't really want to
It's going to snowball at some point. Like, if you start taking out some people, and then you have to, like, widen it as more people get that knowledge.
Yeah, you can't just, like, go, like, with, like, he was, like, you could, like, that's, like, one you could probably get away with.
Yeah, because the idea was that, he didn't seem like a big player to them. So it's just taking out this one guy who accidentally learned too much. seemed easy, and then realizing how that.
Right, so it's kind of like they saw that, so it's like we can't really do that again.
Yeah, and also, so in this conversation, so Envy is pissed. He Envy wants revenge for Lust. Gluttony is very upset that Lust has died. Envy is great question.
Non-binary?
Envy is referred to in the English version with he. I'd be very curious to see how we would refer to that in this day and age, because Envy, well, especially in the 2003 version, Envy is very much a he, but I feel like in this version, Envy is a very deliberately very ambiguously gendered, but also I feel like in this version, very just ambiguous, period. So I flip back to he and they because they say he in the show. I feel like Envy's better served in a, I guess, like the voice vague.
The voice kind of sounded like an older woman.
I know. Well, when I first watched Fullmetal Alchemist, the original, like way back in the day, I looked at Envy. I was like, oh, that's supposed to be like a vaguely female aligned character. I thought that for the longest time, and they're like, so he, and I was like, what? So yeah, Envy is very much supposed to be.
For me, it was mainly the voice of just like it sounded like an older woman who smokes a lot.
Yes.
So that's why I assumed that like
Full Metal.
Right.
Yeah.
Or kind of sounded like, no, it sounded more like Queen Mab in the Merlin miniseries, which you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Why am I here?
To learn. I will teach you to become the most powerful wizard in the world.
Why?
To lead mortals back to us. And the old ways.
Or you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
It's a 90s miniseries about the King Arthur legend, but mainly focused on Merlin.
Was it good?
It's very 90s in that like fantasy, like and like kind of like I say like the Sam Raimi shows from like the like 90s or early 2000s, like Hercules and stuff.
I was literally just gonna be like, me like in a Xeno way,
kind of, but like it had a cast, like it was like the Merlin was Sam Neill, Helena Bonham Carter was in it, Martin Short's in it.
Oh,
so it was like it had a cast,
like actually people.
Yeah,
nice, very nice, very nice.
But it kind of goes through like everything, and it's kind of very much like not like great acting, but like I like it.
Yeah, we gotta appreciate it for what it is. Anyway, so yeah, but Envy's pissed, and Bradley makes like a comment. He was basically like this idea that they can use Mustang. Like Mustang, they've referred to him as before. He can be a candidate for human sacrifice. He doesn't fall in the same categorization of the other players for human sacrifice, like Ed, Al, and Izumi. But there's something about him stands out there where they think they can make use of him. So it wouldn't make sense by Bradley standards to keep him to like do away with him.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it sounds like those candidates are hard to come by. But anyway, so that's why they're being kept around right now. But it sounds like if that were to turn, it could be very ugly. But
yeah,
who knows? Anyway, but while that's happening, we're gonna go back to hanging out with Ed, Al, and Winry.
I doubt that my body's getting any nutrients or any sleep either. So even if we get it back from over there,
Brother!
What?
Is he right, Ed?
Now, this is just a hypothesis, but I was thinking about the transmutation and trying to retrace our process. You remember how we mixed our blood to create a blueprint for Mom's soul?
yeah.
Yay, blood.
Well, right after that, we passed through the portal, where we were both deconstructed. It's a slim chance, but I think it's possible our spirits might have gotten tangled up in the process.
They're like brothers, only closer. And Al makes a comment about, you know, the state of his body, because as we realized in the last episode, there is a possibility that Al's body is out there. But the question is, like, what state is it in? Of course, Al saw Barry the Chopper's human body, which was, like, literally rotting without him in it. And Al is very nervous that, like, his own physical body is somewhere rotting, and it's going to be pretty ugly when he gets back into it.
Right.
And Ed proposes this theory that, like, well, there could be better interlink because they both kind of went through the gate, and they were both kind of reconstruct at the same time. So the idea that they, you know, they're like brothers but closer, and that Ed has some kind of play in helping Al's body kind of stay usable in a way.
So drink your milk.
I'm trying to explain that our bodies might be connected somehow, even though I'm here and your body is over there. See, that might actually explain why I'm so sure.
Oh, did it break? Oh.
Short.
He admitted it.
He's starting to face reality.
I think I might have froze for a second.
Think you've been supplying all
Oh,
the
did?
nutrients for Al's
That
body
was part of the
too?
joke.
Oh.
That seems a little far-fetched.
Well, what's
'Cause it
your
sounds
explanation?
You don't grow because you refuse to drink your milk.
Don't start with that
My
again.
milk has
Well,
It seems like Brother is always sleeping. I wonder if his body could be resting from mine as well.
Until you start drinking it,
Or he's just a
you
teenage
have to.
boy.
It's not
Drink
gonna
it.
happen.
Teenage boy just do that.
Fine, stay upright.
So that's Ed makes a comment where he's like, "That's why I'm so short," and he it takes a lot for Ed to like say
so
that.
much so that I thought the footage froze.
You thought the actual episode frozen. No, he just like fully like,
Because it wasn't even like just not even like the because like not even just like his like the picture froze, but like the sound went away.
Yeah, because Ed had a really hard time admitting that he was short. But yeah, so there is an idea.
He admitted it.
There he did admit it. But there's the idea that Ed has to kind of fuel his body, not just to help his own physical form like grow and be sustained, but Al's body as well. So that's why he eats a lot, sleeps a lot. Honestly, but those are just regular teenage boy traits, so I'm not really sure about that. But like, it's if that helps, that helps.
Does he sleep a lot? It seems like he sleeps like a normal amount. Like,
I mean, Al has like a little flash of like all the times that Ed just randomly falls asleep, but it's never like. It doesn't hinder the plot in any
right,
way,
and it seems like times when it was kind of like, like we were doing something that like, and we were doing it for long hours at a time. Like, have you like tried like studying for long hours at a time? You just fall asleep.
It's true. That's me at night where I'm like, I'm gonna read a book, and then I fall asleep on the couch. Anyway, maybe I have another body somewhere that needs fuel.
Or you have a really comfy couch.
I have a really comfy couch. Anyone who has sat on my couch has remarked that it is a very comfy couch.
Is it green? I forget.
It's blue.
Oh.
It's like a dark blue leather.
So we can call it the big comfy couch.
The big comfy couch. I mean, it is a big comfy couch. So, anyway, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. But anyway, so the Elrics are on their way to the hospital to visit Mustang and Havoc.
We definitely.
I counted the number of steps it took to get to the basement under the third laboratory,
That was fun.
and I was able to calculate the approximate location of that doorway. It's not exact since the hallway curved, but I was able to deduce a radius with the lab at the center.
That's Central Command. But this is even more alarming.
It's the presidential estate, right above where we found the homunculi.
Interesting.
Which means there's a very real possibility the Fuhrer is connected to them.
Gasp.
But that doesn't make sense. Why did he kill Greed and his group if he's connected to them?
Meet up with Kane Fury, who is the radio guy, the young guy. He always looks like such a young guy. And they are kind of talking about the like the things that they've learned, things that they discovered, and going from there. But this idea is that they're slowly kind of coming to understand that the homunculi and everything like that, it's getting tied closer to the military. They were underneath. It goes all the way to the top. So when they were underneath the laboratory or whatever that they needed, where that weird gate thing was, where they had that confrontation a couple episodes ago, and Hawkeye's kind of able to build a perimeter, like here's around where we think that was, just based on the movements that were going in there. And so part of that perimeter intersects with the residence of the Fuhrer. So they're like, oh, this guy could have something to do with it too. And then they start kind of throwing out theories, because if he is tied with the homunculi, then why was he so intent on killing Greed, who was another homunculi,
and his whole team?
Yeah, and his whole crew.
Did we establish why that was, or just because Greed was like a loner who didn't?
Yeah, he was. I think he was a liability in his own right. To the
because
he was off doing his own thing. He wasn't cooperating with his plan, or the other homunculi. He was off kind of doing his own thing.
And he was kind of like telling Ed a lot.
Yeah, he was revealing way more than he should have. So that was not good. So he was a bit of a liability. He needed to be taken care of. So Rip Greed. Maybe we'll see later. I don't know. I actually don't remember.
Okay.
So, I mean, I know, but I don't. There's a certain level of things I can't say with confidence. Anyway, so while they're kind of talking about, okay, like they have a plan moving forward, here's what we're gonna do, we get the reveal.
The Fuhrer working with the homunculi.
I can do you one better.
Also, we trust everybody on his team, right?
Yeah. Yes,
okay.
I'm starting to worry that it's
100%?
too big.
Okay.
All the more reason
Perfect.
to
What's the
pursue
name of the
it.
guy who's also in bed?
So, I hope you're ready to work yourselves ragged.
Havoc?
Yeah,
Yeah,
about
but I mean,
that,
like, he
Colonel.
made a weird look, but
I think you're gonna have to count me out. Your work requires legs, and I can't feel mine.
Oh.
Oh no!
Havoc.
I hate to say it, but I'm retired.
Aww.
Havoc. That Havoc isn't really all that ready to jump back into things, not because he doesn't want to help, but because he perceives himself as being unable to help because he has been paralyzed from the
Wouldn't
waist
the doctor
down.
have told him that? Because he just kind of sounds like he realizes that on his own.
I probably, but it's more of like the rest of the team didn't know that, so he knew that. But I think the rest of the, that wasn't shared with everyone else. And so, Havoc perceives himself as not being able to have any more use for the team. He was like, what's the use in having a pawn that can't move? And so he kind of decides to kind of take himself out of the equation. He's going to kind of retire.
Yeah.
So Mustang is
sad.
Very distraught by that because like he cares for his team deeply, and everything works when everyone is there working together. Like literally, there's a whole chess motif. There's an entire chess motif to Mustang's team, so you need all the pieces to be able to work properly.
I wish we could have convinced Havoc to just like stay.
Yeah.
And not he doesn't have to fight, but he can like I don't know, do other stuff. I thought was fighting his only thing.
Although like that was the one of the things he was good at.
Fighting, smoking.
Fighting and smoking.
Looking at boobs.
Yeah, exactly. But because it's not like because there's some of the guys are better at like more of the brain or the technology stuff. Like Fury's good with the radios. Fallman's very smart, but like the Havoc's role was a lot of the time being boots on the ground. So like he perceives himself as not being able to have any use. And so like throughout the episode, we kind of see.
Like to play with
how old are these people?
Get burnt if you push this
how
too
long
far.
ago was the war?
Not that long ago.
Okay. I'm like most of these people look at least like they're in their 30s.
Did somebody get injured?
One of my men. He was paralyzed from the waist down.
So would the doctor have like noticed that?
Probably.
Aww.
They only let me smoke one of these a day, and I go and waste it. Jeez. I thought I'd retire because of a woman, but not like this.
So what happens next?
Mustang kind of searching for ways to get Havoc like all fixed up. So, he talks to Dr. Knox, who is the coroner. We saw him in a few episodes ago because that's the person who ID'd Maria Ross, and we can tell that he kind of knew like he kind of like in the way that the whole thing was a conspiracy with Maria Ross, like we kind of get this idea that maybe Dr. Knox knew that was not actually Maria Ross, but like help ID'd because they're old war buddies and things like that. So Mustang does have a lot of ties of people willing to help him out. And so we also, war crime buddies.
Memories.
Yeah. So, and things like that. Let's see. So yeah, just in kind of the same vein with Havoc, he has a conversation with Lieutenant Breda, and they're kind of talking about like what's Havoc going to do next. He, probably just go help out at his family's store, and because there's no really way of fixing him. He can't even do automail because to have automail you have to be able to like you need live nerves, and his nerves are shot. So like there's really no way of you can't. When things are dead, you can't bring them back. It's just like dead nerves. So he is kind of like that. So Ed.
Yeah. No.
The nerves in my lower spine are completely severed, and I can't make those out of steel.
Well, not with that attitude.
Doesn't suit you.
So maybe let's like stop destroying your lungs as well.
Yeah. It's fine.
There's still hope for Havoc.
Fullmetal passed this on to me.
Dr. Marco, huh? A medical alchemist in possession of a philosopher's stone?
Yep.
Well, sir, should I find
Is he in possession of one or just knew how to make one?
Permission granted.
We had the liquid, right?
Yeah.
I feel like this is not going to end well.
No, it's fine. I think it brings up the idea of Dr. Marco, of him helping out because he is a doctor with a Philosopher's Stone, so he can do things that other people cannot do. And that might be something to help out with. I forget when he goes to that. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep reading on here. Let's see. We see Major Armstrong back in Central, and he encounters Denny Brosh.
Oh, Major. I didn't expect you back so soon. How did you enjoy your vacation to the east?
Loose lips sink ships, Major.
There.
The scenery was luminous and the women desirable.
Before I forget, this just arrived from the Provost Marshal's office.
He's
It's
not
an
good
urgent
with secrets,
bulletin
is
for
he?
all state alchemists.
I mean, he is.
He is, but
Good heavens.
he's funny about it.
How'd it go?
Who is like,
hey, buddy.
Yeah. And Armstrong cannot say anything about Maria Ross, so he was like, oh, how's your trip? And he was like, the views were luscious, and the women were something. The women were beautiful, or something like that. So it's very funny. So Mustang is good at keeping a secret to a degree. But Denny is not going to be in the loop for this one. He's just a simple kind of guy.
Armstrong's not good at keeping.
Yeah, Armstrong. Did I say that?
You said Mustang.
Oh shit. You know what I mean.
Armstrong can like hold it in. He can,
Mustang is very good at keeping secrets. Armstrong not so much.
Here's the I would say this: Mustang is good at keeping secrets and having a poker face. Armstrong is good at keeping secrets, but not having
not
a
so much of a poker face.
But like if he's like, wait, you're not telling me something. Bye.
Yeah. Let's see.
But like Brush seems like all like happy go lucky, and I'm like, did your friend just like get? I mean, as far as you know, did your friend just like get burned alive?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, military will do that to you. So just gotta move on. Maybe he has a hobby that keeps him relaxed. Like he drinks a lot or something. I don't know, but
or crochet.
Or crochet. Yeah, he probably, honestly, knowing Brosh, he probably crochets. So anyway, I think Brosh also has a notice that he gets that ends up delivering to Ed and Al. It's kind of a big deal because here's the thing, Dara. You know, remember there's been some characters we haven't seen in a while?
Yeah.
One of them, his name is Scar.
Yeah.
He like has like a scar and the arm.
And we didn't find out any information about him saying that he did like anything wrong.
Edward, wait!
But
probably because they think he's kind of asshole.
I'm glad I found you. Yeah, why don't you tell me what's wrong? You should go back to your hotel right now. I can escort you if you want me to.
Attention all military personnel. It has been verified that Scar has returned to Central.
Damn it, Scar!
Casualties have been reported. All confirmed as state alchemists. According to eyewitness reports, he is described as an Ishvalan with an egg-shaped scar on his forehead. Other identifiable markings include a tattoo on his right arm.
Yeah, it says say X, but it sounded like egg.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, an egg-shaped scar. Fullmetal Alchemist. Oh, Havoc. Fullmetal Alchemist. Hey, that guy. Welcome back. So good to have you on the show. No, exactly. Like it's been real under wraps. Anyway, so he's back in Central
and like
just killing state alchemists, and which is kind of like probably a bad thing for Ed and Al because it turns out because Ed's a state alchemist and Scar he's on his list, so they are not safe. Also, Ed does kind of tell Al that like, oh hey, also I think that he killed the Rockbells, just like so we know. And Al's like, you're gonna tell Winry? And he's like, absolutely not.
You need to tell her about the murder part, I think, but you don't need to say who because like I mean she doesn't know who Scar is.
She doesn't know who Scar is.
I mean all she knows that like I think probably that like hey like he's trying to kill all my friends and I've already lost a lot of people and I'm very like I get emotional about losing people so like maybe I don't like this person because
yeah, so
he's trying to murder the few people that I have left.
Yeah.
And he already took away other people.
So anyway, Ed comes up with this harebrained scheme about they want to bring out the homunculi because they want to talk to them and they want to figure out what their deal is because they know.
Remember how they told me I was their sacrifice and they needed me alive?
They told me the same thing. Les told me that when she found out I opened the portal.
Well, there's one piece of the puzzle. They're looking for alchemists that managed to open the portal and make it back out alive.
We got 3 of them.
But the real question is why they want to sacrifice us.
But then don't they thought Mustang would be
an
a
answer
good
out
candidate. Like their stuff goes all the way to the top, and they like we can't uncover the mystery of anything that's going on here without really understanding the homunculi further. So they want to get the homunculi out, and they also know that they are important to the homunculi because both of them have been called to their faces valuable human sacrifices. Yeah. Which they are able to deduce that it has something to do with them, both of them being able to have seen the gate before that information's kind of been...
Did we tell Izumi that?
I'm not sure if we told her that.
I mean, she could probably figure it out.
She can take care of herself. We don't have to worry about
true.
her. We do not have to worry about Izumi. She's fine. And so...
Also, Sig could also help.
Yeah, Sig, fantastic.
I
love him.
I mean, I don't think Sig is like a fighter, but like he's big. He could probably
he could probably he can take anyone, honestly. But so they need a way to bring the homunculi out so they can figure out what the heck they're up to, and also they're important to them. So it'd be really bad if they died.
Right.
So what if there was a guy that was around that wanted them to die? Which maybe in turn, if they cause a big enough scene, they could draw out the homunculi.
We're gonna lure out the homunculi. They need us alive for their sacrifice, don't they?
Who's such an
I
idiot?
doubt they'll be willing to just stand by while Scar kills us.
You think so?
Plan. I mean...
Sounds like a pretty big gamble to me.
It does.
Well, it's much better than doing nothing.
Oh, really? Because Scar literally tore us apart the last time.
Yeah, it's so true.
Fair.
Well, we've gotten stronger in these past few months.
What happens if the homunculi do show up? How are you gonna catch one? They're super strong and they pretty much can't die.
Can't die? Was that hyperbole?
Or are they actually immortal?
No, they can die.
Why don't we lock the windows?
I love how they're just like
Count
listening
us
to
in.
everyone's
We'd
conversation.
love to help you guys.
See, nothing wrong with this plan.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with this plan. Genius. Not risky at all.
What could go wrong?
Nothing. It's such a great plan that Ling and Lanfan, who are eavesdropping, decide to jump on in and say like, "Cool, we're gonna help you out here."
Why is that?
I can't say I care about the military stuff, but it sounds like these homunculi are just what we've been looking for.
Not really.
What's wrong? You look kind of skeptical.
Don't get me wrong, I am grateful for the help you've already given. But this...
You've got better odds with more help. I'm serious
Yes?
about this. This could
Also,
be
what
what
if this
rescues
little girl
my
and her
clan.
panda?
She's around here somewhere. Well, we saw her. She was in Prison Bowl.
Oh.
Remember? I'm not sure what she's
All
doing
right,
there.
then. Just remember, we're in this together.
Shits and giggles?
I promise not
Just
to
for
run
fun
off
on
with
location.
them. I owe you that much.
What for? Is this for room service? You're damn right you owe me!
Do you know how early I have to wake up tomorrow?
Sounds like genuine. I'm assuming genuinely, not like we're gonna say that and then we're gonna fuck you over.
No, they just want to know about the secrets of the homunculi's immortality, and so they want in on the knowledge there, and they're gonna help and Al out because they do owe them because they racked up a stupid room service bill on them.
Ed has a lot of money though.
He does, but like also not cool, man. And
That's true.
So Rinri is awoken by the shenanigans of them yelling at Ling, and she kind of says like, "Hey, like I have to get up early."
Oh, right.
Why?
I forgot. You're catching an early train to rush back. You know what? You should cancel that. Why don't you stick around and relax?
Huh?
Fair.
I mean, it's just
We're not gonna do anything stupid or anything.
There's always a chance my arm could get broken, or even destroyed.
Are you planning on destroying it?
Yes.
I've got your soul, brother.
I can't believe you. Just promise you won't do anything too dangerous.
Yeah, Winry's been through enough.
Seriously, though.
Her parents died in battle, were actually
Hey,
voided.
Doc, are you home? I could use your help with something.
Breda gets put on the weirdest side quests.
But didn't he want to go on the side quest?
Yeah. Still gets put on the weird side quest.
Damn.
Womp womp. Shut up.
To get to train.
Yeah, because she wants to get back to Rush Valley. Ed's like, hey, maybe you stick around actually. Because
she's like, why?
Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe wouldn't it be so weird if like my arm broke?
Why would your arm break?
No reason, just to stick around.
Really? I did love the animation where she's like she's like a bloody wrench, and then Ed's like, I got your soul,
and then like Ed's soul is just like leaving his body. It's
like
the humor. I when the show decides to get funny, it's very funny, and so yes, it's very.
But Winry knows, like, so y'all are gonna do something stupid.
Yes, very much so.
And we know how Winry feels about that.
Yeah, not great.
Rightly so.
Yeah. So anyway, but meanwhile, we see Breda goes to that small town where Dr. Marco lives. Turns out that Marco is not there, and it looks like some bad things happened there. His whole place has been ramshackled, and he's nowhere to be found. So he reports back to Mustang, and Mustang's like, doesn't sound great.
Nope.
So he asks Hawkeye to get his uniform because he's getting out of there, even though he should be in the hospital for much longer. But
he's seared it shut.
Seared shut, it's fine.
It's okay. It was so painful.
It's okay, all the bleeding is internal, so it's not that bad. That's where all the blood's supposed to be. On the inside.
Right, but it's supposed to be in certain parts of the body on the inside.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Anyway.
I mean, it's gonna be fine, but also, like, he shouldn't be in a fight. Or commit a war crime.
Yeah.
Unless it's just the science behind that.
Where's the part where Havoc and Mustang get into it? There's another part.
Oh, the part in the hospital where, like, after his mother came, Havoc's mother came?
Yeah, because there's a scene where Havoc's mother comes to visit him, and Havoc kind of says, he's like, hey, I'm moving forward, I'm retiring, I'm out of here. And then, he and Mustang kind of have a fight.
You're wrong. Look, don't try and tell me you need a pawn that can't move.
I love you.
Don't you look at me like that.
He does. He loves his men.
Forget about me.
And like,
move on already. You don't have time to worry about me. You need to think about the promise you made to General Hughes instead of pitying me.
Havoc. He's got a lot of emotions.
He's had a lot happen to him.
Yeah.
Just let me get on with my
Think about those poor Bazumbas that just got lit on fire.
Yeah, it's true. R.I.P. Bazongas. Oh, and Jean's legs.
All right. You're cut loose.
There, because, like, Havoc's like, I can't be of use, but Mustang's like, yo, you're one of my guys, and it gets kind of heated, kind of emotional, because, like,
which, like, that's like the big scene to me that kind of shows that, like, Mustang, like, that, like, sees like all of these people as, like, probably like more than family even.
Yeah, it's not just a subordinate of his. It's like genuinely someone that he holds very close.
But it also made, like, a thing of interesting saying, like, he wants to be, like, the head, but, like, in, like, politics, like, you can't really, because, like, unfortunately, like, I think there's, like, a thing of, like, what's, like, this person's weakness, and unfortunately Mustang has a lot of weaknesses.
Yeah, and he's actually, like, even though Mustang has this very strong ambition, very strong drive to make it to the top, like, is he cutthroat enough to actually make it? Because he does actually care about people very much. We see it in very much of his actions, like, in the way where he, like, saves Maria's ass, and the way that he cares about Havoc and all of his men, and the people who work for him, where he actually does very much care about them, not just, I mean, and the way that he, how he took to Hughes' death as well, like, he does care about people very deeply in a way where he does care about them as people and not just pawns or subordinates.
I mean, it was, like, Hughes' death that allowed him to, like, actually, like, look into stuff more.
Yeah.
Which is, like, I guess could, like, that kind of makes you, like, smarter, but I feel like if he lost, like, his entire team, that would just break him.
Yeah.
And he would just kill everybody until he died. It
would be rough. So we see what kind of person Mustang is, and then the question is, he is willing to do a lot to get to the top, but will, how is that going to work with the person that he actually is?
Yeah.
So we'll find out, I'm sure.
I mean, like, now thinking that, it feels like he could be a good leader in, like, the sense that he cares about people. But unfortunately, as we learned in America and other troubled countries, that's not how politics work.
No, not at all.
It should be how it works.
Yeah, but never is. Never is. Anyway, so, let's see. So,
and being an idiot.
Oh, that's my livelihood, you idiot!
I'm really sorry.
My cabbages!
Well, sorry's not gonna fix my stand.
Looks like you could use some help. It's a good thing I happened by. Edward Elric, State Alchemist at Large.
Wow, that's amazing!
Thank you very much, sir. Please, you have to let me pay you for this.
Pay me? Well, that's not necessary, but thank you.
So we're being idiots, aren't we?
Yes.
Vase. It's a priceless family heirloom.
No problem at all.
And I was in the background.
That's right. I'm here to help. I'm your friendly neighborhood state alchemist. Don't forget, I'm Edward Elric.
I'm definitely Edward Elric.
Yeah.
Tight.
Yeah. So Ed goes off to be an idiot, which means like, so Ed is using his alchemy left and right to help people. He's putting on this like very theatrical show of making sure that he's like, oh, I'm a state alchemist. I can help solve all your problems. And he does end up helping a lot of people, which is good, but he's definitely showboating and doing it in a way where it makes things very obvious. I really love the subtle shots of one of my favorite things about Ed, kind of like it's a very subtle running gag, but Ed has just absolutely awful tastes in like aesthetics because he is a teenage boy, so he makes everything look like really like cool and like edgy in a way that's like really annoying. So like if you saw like the one where he like fixes like the baby
and it has like
it looks like a weapon, but he just has it's so funny that he's very gaudy in his taste because he is in fact a teenage boy. But he's doing that, going out helping people, and he is drawing a lot of attention to himself, and to the point where Mustang pulls up and he's like, yo,
Full Metal.
Colonel? Shouldn't you still be in the hospital?
Yes.
Probably.
He doesn't even deny it.
Lieutenant Havoc. I'm sure Dr. Marco...
Hold on. People are watching us.
True.
Get in. On second thought, let's get out.
Why would you put Al in the back with an injured person?
Looks like
he deserves it.
They probably took him captive. There's something else we need to talk about. I'm sure you've heard that Scar's back. So what's with the showboat? Do you want him to find you?
No.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want. I need to fight him, and you can't talk me out of it.
What are you doing, man? And they're kind of able to explain. They're like, hey, we're trying to draw Scar out. Here's what we're kind of trying to do. And because we want to draw the homunculi out, he's like, that's a terrible idea. He's like, yeah, but you're going to help us with it. And Mustang's like,
we're using Brother as bait to lure out the homunculi. He's too important to them. They can't afford to just let him die.
Fair.
That's crazy.
We're not going to let anyone else get hurt. Using ourselves as bait was our only option.
Was it?
What are you going to do if Scar happens to get shot? The MPs might get here before the homunculi.
But you can stop that from happening, can't you, Colonel?
So now I take orders from you, is that it?
Yes.
You've got a lot of nerve. You had better plan
Also,
on
can't
sharing
we just
what you catch.
live in a place where it's not going to kill him?
Sergeant Fury's townhouse is close by. Come on, let's go.
Yes, sir.
You're gonna drop in on a man's townhouse? Bet. All right, cool. And after kind of shortly explaining that plan, then things start going into motion.
Did somebody show up?
Yeah. You know Scar?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he makes his grand entrance. And Scar, I'm not sure if Scar realizes, like, that he has been baited in the way that he has, because I think he's just so focused on his goal of getting rid of all the state alchemists that he just goes for it.
He was not prepared.
Yeah. It's always important to be prepared. And he just starts attacking Ed, and they try to
But at this point, like, Ed kind of, like, learned from the fight, so he kind of...
So he is able to better take on Scar, and also they fight in a way where it's not to get immediate victory, it is to draw out the fight long enough to draw out the people that they need to draw out.
Correct.
Anytime now.
Hey, get out of the way! We need a clear shot!
Don't shoot! You'll hit my brother!
Damn it! Everything's lost if those guys shoot Scar. How long can I keep this up? Way too close! Hurry up, you stupid homunculi!
Which channel's the Provost Marshals? Got it. You haven't let me down, Fury.
Well, I guess if they're desperate.
Attention. This is Sector 3 Patrol. We're under attack from Scar. Request immediate backup. What? No! No! No!
All right, on to Sector 17. This is pretty fun.
You should have some fun.
You should, yeah.
Sector 17? Then what about Sector 3?
Think of all the Warcraft he's committed.
He's in Sector 8 now.
Oh my god. And so the other military guys are coming. They want to shoot Scar. They just want to dispose of him immediately. And they have to kind of get some of the military guys back. So the way Mustang and Hawkeye help out, they go over to Fury's house. And he has, like, the one with, like, a big radio setup.
Yeah.
So Mustang starts, like, calling a bunch of confusing radio signals saying that they're over here. No, actually, they're over here. And he's having way too much fun with it. It's actually very funny. He's like,
You know what? He's been through a lot these last.
He can have a little fun
he lost one of his best friends.
Yeah.
He had to make everybody think that he brutally murdered a woman.
Yeah.
He had to sear the wound shut with his powers.
Almost passed out from the pain. Sorry.
He basically burned a homunculus like several times. Plus all the war crime trauma.
Oh yeah, remember all the war crimes that he did? Anyway, I'm sure we'll talk about those at some point. Anyway, so but yes, he's having a fun time, like throwing people off the signal, and it's very clear. But I think we see Fear King Bradley.
The young man is a state alchemist. Do not fire.
False reports in all sectors. We have reports of a fourth Scar. This is Sector 3. All streets are clear. Sector 8 requesting backup. Currently engaged with Scar.
I'm concerned.
Don't worry about it.
I'm just concerned.
It'll be fine.
Gluttony.
Oh, Gluttony's here.
Hi, buddy.
I get to eat him, right?
That's a strange presence. You could feel it too, right?
Yes.
Then it's time to move.
Are they actually gonna help? Oh no!
Oh my god, why does he keep getting hit in the face?
My body or my automail?
He's a smart guy. He knows what's going on here, but he's here to kind of show up to the party and fight.
Also, Gluttony's there.
Gluttony shows up too. And meanwhile, we see Ling and Lanfan, they're kind of above everything, kind of watching all of this go down. And Bradley and Gluttony meet them.
Just how many people are inside you?
That's a very strange way to flirt.
Don't bother running. I sense your presence, and I can follow it.
What?
Follow me? Then I'll just eat you now.
There it is.
He's a homunculus.
So, you're able to detect his presence, are you?
This is fine.
It's quite the nuisance. Let's take care of it.
I'm concerned.
As you probably should.
Oh no!
No, Lanfan!
Let it all out. Well, Lanfan, it was fun knowing you. It's gonna be a rough fight, that's all I'm gonna say. And that's where we end that. So,
cliffhanger?
Good luck, Lanfan. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't want her to die, but I'm also like, I'm a bit concerned.
That'll be fine. What'd you think there?
I liked it. It's kind of like it feels like stuff's like coming together.
Yeah, it's all coming together.
Maybe this is more, although, how many episodes have we watched of this, like, season so far-ish?
I don't know, 8.
Okay, so maybe not.
No. Yeah.
Because it feels like because it kind of feels like a thing of just like stuff's like coming together.
Yeah.
But in like a semi, like
I would say we're on the back half of the season, probably, maybe.
Yeah, kind of feels like
I actually don't know where the season break is here.
I was gonna say, because like at least like with like the last one, like there was like a big reveal, so it kind of feels like we're ramping up to that.
Yeah.
In some way, I'm also like I guess I'm a little bit concerned that either like something's gonna happen to Scar where like he dies.
Oh.
And my concern there is that like if he dies, I don't see the point of his character.
Yeah. I mean, because you have your own theories about, like, you know, what his character arc is going to be. And I feel like it's, like, Scar is very much, like, less of a villain, more of, like, an anti-villain in a way where, like, he is, like, he's a guy who's very much working, like, antagonistically against the main character. Like, he doesn't like them. But his backstory and his goals are lined up in a way where it's like, we could get you to, like, maybe not always be against us. Maybe we can be, I'm not sure they'll be friends, but, like, not complete enemies. Maybe.
Right, which that's kind of my thinking of, like, because, like, I was thinking, like, is he gonna die in this episode? In the next episode, not this one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that would, because it feels like if he did, like, then it would be like, why were we even following him?
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that's not the case.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit concerned about that because it's like literally like why would we even make this character?
Yeah, it's a good point. But
is there gonna be blood?
There will always be blood. This is Fullmetal Alchemist
Brotherhood. There's already blood
because
the rock got dropped on Ed's head and there was blood on his face.
That's true. Ed's already scarred. It's so funny. That boy also, like, gets beat up easily.
Like, is Papa gonna come to Central City?
Probably not.
And see, like, his sons?
Will Papa show back up at some point? Great question. You know, it'd be funny if he just, like, never showed up again. If he was just there for, like, an episode. It was like, alright, I'm out. Just, like, never came back.
But like you said, like, the show's gonna conclude and I'm gonna be satisfied. So I feel like my questions are gonna be answered, and like the way you talk about Hohenheim is that he's interesting. I'm assuming he's gonna come back.
Yeah. What if I just lied? Consider the following. But anyway,
when you're giddy about something, I know you're not lying. Like a character where you're like, he's such an interesting person. I'm like, okay then.
I don't hide it well. Anyway, so that's that episode. I think it's a fun setup. Makes me just want to watch the next episode because things are about to go down. It's
going down.
Yeah, I think this episode, like, I feel like last episode and this episode do a lot of, like, I feel like last episode does a lot of, like, some closure to help us move forward, like a lot of, like, emotional closure to get us back into the action, and this episode, like, gets us in the setup to ramp up to the action.
Yes.
And so hopefully, which means next time we'll have action and it'll be fun and nothing bad will happen.
I don't believe you.
So I don't know. I've only ever told you the truth, and so so I'm excited to see where we're gonna go next. If you don't have any thoughts, I will share some trivia. Do you have any other thoughts?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So let's see. Several elements are changed around in this episode. L'Enfant has a more active role in Ling's deal in the manga to protect. To protect Mustang's group even while they're in the hospital. But in the anime, she just stays with Ling. Also, Al visits Mustang before Ed fixes him up, but in the episode, Ed comes back first. So, all right. In the English dub, Ed refers to himself as your friendly neighborhood state alchemist, which is very much a colloquialism because we're like, just like Spider-Man. I don't think that was...
I love how, like, that wasn't immediately what I thought of.
Oh, really?
When he was, like, doing all that stuff for some reason, because it felt like he was, like a snake oil salesman. So he was, like, standing, so then immediately I was, like... going to Sweeney Todd, and I was like, "'Twas Pirelli's miracle elixir." That's what really the tricks are true, sir, true.
The events of Breda's search for Tim Marco in the Nameless Village. I like that's. It has a whole article for Nameless Village. It's very funny. Are notably shortened. Also, shout out to Wiki writers. I forgot to shout you out this episode. I love you. Also, I forgot to do the social media stuff at the beginning of last episode. So, we're doing our best here. Anyway,
listen, it's been a while.
It's been a minute since we recorded. Always takes us a second.
You're still recouping technically.
I'm still getting back to the swing of things. Anyway, so
probably would have helped if you had that extra day to get back in the swing of things and not be stuck in Canada.
Not be stuck in Canada for an extra day. So that was fun. I was stuck in Canada.
Nothing against Canada, but
I wanted to go home.
It was the weather's fault, not Canada's fault.
Yeah, true. I don't know. Personally, I think we should blame Canada.
Blame Canada.
So the events of Breda's search for Tim Marco in the Nameless Village are notably shortened in this episode compared to the original manga chapter. In the manga, Envy, disguised as Breda, arrived with Gluttony first to kidnap Marco by reminding him of the deal he made with Lest shortly before the real Breda arrived, causing the villagers to recognize him despite it being the first time he visited the village. This also took place before Havoc made it clear that Mustang must leave him behind to accomplish his own goal. So a little bit more. I think we're still, even though we are in full new adaptation mode now, we're still seeing things that are cut for time, which is interesting. It's also a little sad because I think some stuff that gets explained better in the manga, we don't really have as much time to breathe with here. And as somebody who has also read the manga, but I sometimes will also forget that if it wasn't adapted, because I'll remember certain scenes, just like with last episode, there was a scene that I remembered very clearly, and I was like, oh wait, that didn't actually make it to the adaptation. And so it's still a good, great show, but sometimes I'm like, oh, would have been fun to see that animated out.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know what time it is, Dara?
2:58.
Yes. You know what time it also is?
Comment corner.
It's time for a comment
I wasn't sure if I told you.
corner.
I wasn't sure if I told you the time. You'd be like, what?
I'd be like, oh my god.
We still have sunlight for a little while now. It's not. It's not winter.
Rough. That's rough, buddy. Anyway, so we're gonna read the comments for episode 13, Beasts of Doubleth.
Ooh.
Oh my god, so exciting. So Zom comments a few times and says greed is great, which I'm not sure if that's supposed to be also a comment too. What's the movie where it's like greed is good? Wall Street, yeah.
Also, the 80s.
Also just generally the 80s. And so Zom also says, if it's possible, it would be great to see Dara's reaction to Yoki's pair of episodes in the original. That would be funny if it wasn't so hard for us to get the 2003 episodes up here. We'll attempt it maybe again one day. Or it will just be a Patreon exclusive. Yeah. So that's not a priority, but we were just talking about.
There's a tweet also that we talked about on our live stream.
Yeah.
Where somebody said like, oh, I would love you to watch like the episode with the Nina and Alexander Chimera on the original, and I'm like, yeah, we're not watching the original. Also, like, I'm barely over that, and it's been a while.
And it's even worse in the original, which is funny.
I know, because it went out for 2 episodes.
Yeah. You know it. But we were just talking about how I think it would be fun for us to go back and watch the 2003 version. We can't watch it for the show because it's a bitch to get on YouTube.
That's the reason why there's no reaction.
Yeah, that's the reason why we like it's way better. It's just easier to do Brotherhood, but well, I'm sure we'll find where there's a will, there's a way.
Yep.
Zom also says this is the episode that I was thinking of when I said to keep in mind Island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Ordinary Critic comments and says, do you have a lot of comments on here? Only 2 comments on our channel. Anyway, hello Ordinary Critic. How are you? It says Envy's power embodies envy, if you ask me. He's basically mimicking people he can never be. Lust's power is for her actual ability is for penetrating any material. I could see a lustful connotation to it. Get it?
Ayo.
Penetration.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of if that pokey thing went into a vagina. That sounds like it would hurt. You know what I'm saying? It would hurt.
Yes, it would. Very much so.
And I've only seen that in Evil Dead.
Oh, I haven't.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh my. So, all right, now we're gonna read the comments from episode 14, Those Who Lurk Underground.
Where nothing happened in that episode?
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Zom comments, this show always ends on a cliffhanger. So true. And Matthew Mado, who comments a few times, sorry if I got your name wrong, apologize, says couldn't really have an immortal ruler of a nation if you want to be inconspicuous, so it makes sense that his body being King Bradley's would be created to age naturally.
That's fair, actually.
So playing the long game. Ordinary Critic also comments and says, considering that greed was dissing the sins one by one, it would make sense he didn't mention pride by name at all. Not mentioning the living embodiment of pride would be a huge blow to their ego. True. That's a very good point. Everyone makes such good comments, and remember that you can leave comments as well. We will read them on the show because everyone leaves very nice and insightful comments, and sometimes when you don't, we'll just make fun of you.
Yeah.
or if it's just rude for the sake of being rude, we will not give that anything. If you say a funny comment,
it's a funny rude comment.
Yeah, that we need to, we do owe it to you.
Oh, I haven't really had any with Fullmetal Alchemist.
No, with Fullmetal Alchemist, no. So for better or worse, but thank you so much for watching the show today or listening. Remember, we are for available on a variety of different social medias and different platforms. You can find us on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe on there. If you could subscribe, that'd be cool. We are like this close to being able to like get money, so like I'd like to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think we're at like 923 last time I checked.
I think we were having fun.
So if we get like another like 70, then we can monetize.
Tell your friends. Bully your friends. Don't bully your friends. If you also just want to listen to us, we are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that good stuff. You can listen to our stuff on there, which is very fun. You can take us to go. We're fun. You can have us in your ear when you're doing a myriad of activities. We're also available on the normal social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff. We are Witty Clothes on there. You can
We're
look us
also
up.
still not calling it X.
No, we're not. And we are also available. You can email us wittyclothes@gmail.com if I don't know. You can whatever you want to do there. And we also have a Patreon, which you can subscribe to, and we have a lot of cool things going on there. Dara, what do we got going on?
We have monthly live streams. We just had one for August, but that was for everybody to join, which you do twice a year.
Yes.
And those are for everybody from like the lowest tier, which is $1 to the highest tier, and then at our $5 tier, you get our spin-off show where we talk about shows that we both have seen or never have seen, and right now we're watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, which you both have seen, some more than others.
Yes, it's one of my favorite shows of all time, so it's really fun to go back and do a show like that where both of us have seen it, and the way that we talk about it is a little bit different than the way we do here, just because
there's more spoilers, I would say, because like we're aware of what's going to happen.
A lot of it's more retrospective than it is here, where I can't just say, you know, remember that famous spoiler where, you know, oh my god, I can't believe it. Anyway, so
I can't believe Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. I can spoil the movie now, right? It's been a while.
It's been a while. Anyway, so but yes, you can watch that show, and we got more content coming your way. So follow us on there. You also do get episodes early. So if you're like, I need this episode now, you can get these episodes specifically a week early on Patreon, which I think that would be very cool of you to do.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so that's where you can find us. We've been going on for a little bit now, so I'm very excited to talk about the next episodes, which Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 22, Backs in the Distance, and episode 23, Girl on the Battlefield, Girl Boss moment.
We got a couple girls that could be on the battlefield.
That's true. Anyway, until next time, I'm Concluding.
I'm Dara Whitman.
Peace.
Have you lost your mind?
Yes.
Did you forget the way he tore you apart in East City?
Ooh, sounds like the Colonel's scared of Big Bad Scar. I'm not surprised considering how useless you were.
Most things shouldn't be fighting right now.
That wasn't my fault. It was raining that day.
Was it raining when you got beat up and sent to the hospital?
At least somebody's paying attention.
Shut your mouth, Fullmetal.
God, the only person paying attention.
Got your invite.
Queen?
You okay?
We love her.
I think it was raining the way you're